There is a mosque in East Java that locals say appeared overnight, built, they say, by spirits. Zamshir on the Uncharted Backpack YouTube channel, and today I'm heading south of Malang to see it with my own eyes. The road out here cuts through farmland and small villages, before the mosque even comes into view, and then suddenly it's just there. If you are on a motorbike, you will park outside the complex. Cars can actually drive in and park inside the mosque grounds. Welcome to Tiban Mosque. One quick reminder before we go in. This is an active place of worship, so modest, fully covered clothing is expected. Parts of the mosque are still under construction, so there is no formal shoe check here. You carry your own shoes with you as you go.
Oh, yang terang. Oh ini. Assalamualaikum Pak.
First stop, the guest register. A staff member has me sign in before we start exploring. There's a small stall here too, selling a few products if you want to pick something up.
Terima kasih.
Alright, let's start exploring. We are heading in through the men's entrance. Separate entrance for men and women are common at mosques across Indonesia, this one included. First real stop, and it feels like a garden. Rows of plants arranged with real care, a pond with a fountain, colorful floor tiles, and walls in blue and gold. Look closely at the blue pattern. That's Arabic calligraphy. What's written there are lines taken directly from the Quran. Second stop in an enclosed room. This look like belongs to the pesantren staff or leadership. This whole complex was built without any government or outside funding, just personal donations from the founder's family and the community around it. There is actually a sign upstairs that spells out the principle directly. No begging for money, no expecting anything back, and no debt. Honestly, this place plays tricks on you. It's less a building and more a maze, turn after turn, just to get from one room to the next. Some visitors actually call it the Mosque of a Thousand Corridors. I'm already a little lost. Third stop, a men's rest area. Looks like it's meant for visitors to sit and take a break. There is some kind of pool here too. Honestly, I'm not sure what it's for. Might just be decorative. Fourth stop, and this is the main prayer hall. There is an LED screen showing prayer times. Shelves stacked with Qurans, and over there, a beduk. That's a large traditional drum, still used in mosques across Indonesia to signal that prayer time is near. Look at the gold calligraphy, genuinely beautiful. This spot doubles as another rest area too.
Oh,
That's a banner for a garden. There's an actually garden upstairs. Same with a shopping area. And here's that shopping area, mostly Muslim fashion for sale, and it's run entirely by santri. That's the term for students who live and study here at the pesantren, the Islamic boarding school this mosque is actually part of. Feels like we've reached the upper section now. It's noticeably brighter up here than everything below. Bins for used plastic bottles, collected here for recycling. This whole level is mostly garden, but we can still keep climbing. From up here, you can actually see the main dome. It's visible from a long way off. This mosque runs 10 floors tall. This floor is basically a play nursery. The signs faded almost past reading. But from what I can tell, they sell seedlings, fruit trees, ornamental flowers, bonsai, and calligraphy pieces.
baba.
Stepping into the shading house here, looks like this is where seedlings are grown out. No labels or anything, so I honestly can't tell you what half of these are. Past this fence, there are potted fruit trees. Local oranges, and I think that's pomelo. And I've just been stopped by one of the caretakers.
Oh, boleh pak.
Turns out visitors
Maaf,
aren't
maaf.
actually supposed to be inside this fence section. Fair enough. These areas for ornamental plants, flowers, and bonsai. Same story, no labels, and I'll be honest, plants aren't really my area of expertise.
Ini kaktus ya pak?
That looks like some kind of cactus. A few bonsai over here too.
Oh.
Looks like there's still another level above us. Let's keep going. A garden up here too, with seating, and you get a real view over the surrounding area from this height. You can actually see from here that the outside of the mosque is finished. It's the interior that's still work in progress. There are monkeys living up here. Believe it or not, two of them kept as pets. From this side, facing south, you are looking out toward the wild beaches of South Malang. A coastline I'd argue deserves its own trip entirely. One more floor above this we haven't explored yet. Small, but it's got the best view in the whole place. Time to find the way out. And after all the turns getting in, I have a feeling this won't be simpler either. Good news is the exit route is different from the way in, so we'll pass through parts we haven't seen yet. The stairs are narrow and steep. What's your step here? Found a kind of water garden, a large stone balance on a smaller one, with Javanese language carved into it. It looks like some kind of proverb, though I couldn't get a clear read on what it said. Back at the shopping area again.
Enggak, Pak. Nyari jalan keluar. Oh ini ya. Ya, makasih. We found way out there.
Before we head out completely, I want to check this side. Looks like there is another garden here. Let's go down and take a look. Floor 5, the Umbrella Dome. This garden has seating and plant life, and that dome above us works exactly like an umbrella, keeping the sun off. Past the main hall, and we could head out from here, but hold on, there is one more thing worth seeing. A small gallery, photos covering the walls. Looks like the family wedding photos from the people who run this pesantren. Even after climbing all 10 floors, that's still not the whole place. Because this mosque is part of a working pesantren, an active Islamic boarding school, not just a landmark. Some areas are for residents only. Visitors don't get access to everything, and that's exactly how it should be. One more garden ahead, some setup as before, plants, chairs, tables. But this one's mostly white with gold yellow patterning. That gold is more Quranic calligraphy. It's brutally hot at midday though. Evening is genuinely the better time to spend here. I think that's the exploration done. Time to head home. This place is exhausting to walk. It's massive and honestly, the inside really is a mess. But every bit of that tired legs feeling gets paid back by how beautiful this place is. So, was it really built by spirits overnight? No, it was built by hand, one brick at a time, over more than a decade, by students who never expected anyone outside to notice.
Sendiri, nggak rombongan.
Somehow, that's the version I find more incredible. Grabbing a fresh squeezed orange juice from a stall outside before I go.